He may have passed away 20 years ago, but the legend of Ed Big Daddy Roth still lives on in a big way here in Utah. Every year, a huge reunion takes place in Manti to honor this innovative artist who revolutionized the car world as we know it.
News specialist Dan Rascone gives us a sneak peek at his unique documentary that's coming up this conference weekend on Ed Roth. Dan?
Seeing images printed on T-shirts is no big deal. Well, there was a time when that just didn't happen. That was until Ed Big Daddy Roth came along. He was not only the first to print images on T-shirts, but he also played a major role in the hot rod world. But there was another side of Ed many may not know. In the 50s and 60s, Southern California was a mecca for hot rods. And the man at the center of it all, Ed Big Daddy Roth.
Anybody that had a hot rod knew Ed Roth.
Roth's popularity and fame first exploded with this image that he started painting on T-shirts in the 50s. A green, bug-eyed, stinky junkyard rodent known as Ratfink.
One of the first ones to freak people out and make a statement with T-shirts. There's stories of kids going to school wearing Ed Roth T-shirts and getting sent back home because they were too wild and distracting for the time.
A character that continues to live on, even 20 years after Ed Roth passed away. In fact, every year, artists and Finksters from all across the world converge on Manti to honor Big Daddy and the legacy he's left behind.
As an artist, you always feel like you're such a weirdo and nobody understands you, but Ed made people feel normal.
But there is another side to Ed that took him out of the fast lanes of Southern California and brought him here to settle in the small central Utah town of Manti. In the 70s, Ed had a change of heart and was converted to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
The gospel was the most important thing to Ed ever.
That's Elder Coleman and me.
George Nelson had a front row seat to Ed's conversion. He was a 19-year-old missionary in the 70s and taught Ed in his Southern California home.
The Lord doesn't look on the outside, right? He looks on our heart. And Ed had the right heart. He had a heart that wanted to serve the Lord.
An innovative artist, an automotive pioneer who had a shift of heart.
My dad, the one person he really worried about what they were thinking was Heavenly Father.
There's, of course, much more to Ed Roth's story, including some of his final interviews before his death. Who was it and what was it that inspired him to listen to the missionaries in the first place, and the trials and tribulations he overcame to what he did? Watch A Shift of Heart this Saturday at 12:30 on KSL TV after the first session of General Conference. Back to you guys.